In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my RonyiQ. They are rare and they are few who can compare with RonyiQ. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for RonyiQ. They are rare and they are few who can compare with RonyiQ. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for RonyiQ. RonyiQ. It's time for RonyiQ. RonyiQ. It's time for RonyiQ. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for RonyiQ. I listen to my Ronnie, Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for RonyiQ. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand rising, grand rising. I hope you guys had a great night. Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, doom, 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 doom. Thank God it's Friday. I didn't know. How come nobody told me that 4547 had a whole Easter presentation that they snatched off the internet? Did you guys know? I did see one clip of that dingbat Minister Paula White comparing 4547 to Jesus. Now, I watch very little of that because these religious freaks trying to equate anything in this administration to Christian values is just really disgusting. But I didn't realize that they had to take a lot of these things that your president said off of the internet. Well, some of the things that your president said that had to be taken off of the internet is that he doesn't believe that the federal government should be paying for child care. He said he doesn't believe that it is due upon the federal government to assist American citizens with child care, with, reducing the cost of child care. The president who tried to take over the term affordability when Zoran Mandami got elected as New York City mayor, and then he became the person about affordability until a week later he said affordability is a made-up word. Well, this is what he said about child care. Additionally, what you may not know is that your president also said that the federal government should not have to pay for Medicare or Medicaid, that the states have enough money to pay for Medicare and Medicaid. So all of you people living, all of you MAGA voters who are living in Alabama, Mississippi, all of these poor red states, your president said that your poor red state has enough money to pay for your Medicaid. So it seems like your president doesn't want to pay to keep you well. Uh, even in the poorest of states, all of you people who predominantly are in poor states who voted for 45, 47. Nah, he don't want to pay for you to stay alive no more. He told you that if you voted for him, this would be the last time you would have to do it. So you didn't understand that he planned on making you fall over dead because you will have no health care. You didn't understand that part of it, I guess. Oh, okay. Now, I just am perplexed to know how this president has even 5% support, and he still has a low of 30, no, a high 30 percent support from some of you people who he tells you that he don't give a damn about you. But what he did said is the federal government's duty is to spend more money on the military. That's what he said that the federal government should be doing with their federal dollars, not taking care of you. No, putting more money into the military so that he can go off to all these nations and just strike all these nations. Good morning, Madison. Good morning, Michael Myers. I concur. I concur, Micah Myers. I believe we are already in World War III. Quite frankly, 30%. I think it's actually 39%, and I can't. And if I cannot imagine why it is that. Yes, as a matter of fact, this military budget for 2026 is $1 trillion. Last year, 2025, it was 830 something $billion, of which Peak Keg Breath spent $93 billion in September alone, wasting it on crab leg, lobster tail, ribeye steak, designer furniture, contracts that have yet to be disclosed. In 1 month alone, your Keg Breath spent $93 billion. You know why he spent that money on all of this bullshit? On fruit stands and ice cream servers and donuts, for the generals that he said were too fat, and you know took them down a peg on national TV about being too fat. $93 billion, because if they have a if you don't use all the money that is in the budget, you may lose the money next year. So in September, he spent $93 billion. But see, that really doesn't make sense, because the budget that was passed for 2026 was passed on when? The 4th of July. So he already knew that he had $1 trillion budget for this year. So that spending $93 billion on bullshit, as people are being thrown off of their health care, as they're telling you that they don't have any money for to extend the subsidies so people can stay on the Affordable Care Act, and people insurance premiums had doubled and tripled, so they are no longer able to afford insurance, while Pete Keg Breath is pretending like, oh, well, I had to spend that money. If it's use it or lose it. So what else am I going to do? You weren't going to lose it, because your budget's with 800 and something billion, and it has already increased to $1 trillion. But that's not the final part. The final part of it is your president has stated that he wants to increase the Pentagon budget for 2027 to $1.5 trillion. Did you hear that? That is the newest plan. Your president says he shouldn't have to help with child care. He said maybe the states are going to have to increase taxes, and he'll probably cut taxes a little bit to help them out. Who gets tax cuts in America? Billionaires. The billionaires are the only people who get tax cut from the federal government, and they don't need no help with child care. They can have 10, 12, 14 children with different women. They don't need help with child care. They can have multiple nannies like Howard Lubnick, his commerce secretary. They can go to Epstein Island with their wife and their children and multiple nannies. A billionaire. They don't need no child care. They got multiple nannies taking trips to Epstein Island with their wife and family and their children. They don't need no child care. Hey, outspoken one. So let's get into I'll let you hear. Now they have the internet is everlasting. This is some of the things that they have taken down that your president has said about child care, and these poor red states should be able to pay for your Medicaid and Medicare. He don't give a fuck about how you live, how you die. He don't care. Let me get into your president and his Easter presentation. Let me find it. Here it is right here. I think this is it. If it isn't, we'll find it. Let's try this one.
The king is coming over here in 2 weeks. He's a nice guy, King Charles, but should be our best, right, Brooke? But they weren't our best. I said, you have 2 old, broken down aircraft carriers. You think you could send them over? Oh, I'll have to ask my team. I said, you're the prime minister. You don't have... No. I have to ask my team, President. My team has to meet. We're meeting next week. Oh, next week? But the war already started next week. It's not good. The war's going to be over in 3 days. France, Macron, whose wife treats him extremely badly. And he's still recovering from the right to the jaw. And I say, Emmanuel, we'd love to have some help in the Gulf, even though we're setting records and knocking out bad people and knocking out ballistic missiles. No. We cannot do that, Donald. We can do that after the war is won. I said, no, I don't need after the war is won, Emmanuel. We've had some very bad allies in NATO, and, we spend trillions of dollars on NATO, and when we need them, which we never do, we didn't need them here either. To be honest, I was really asking because I wanted to see what they do. We didn't need them. We're black.
Yeah, you needed them. Yes, quantum Thrux. I spoke about that yesterday. Thank you for re-upping your membership. 21 months. Outspoken one, I appreciate your membership. Hey, Detach. Spray Tan Foundation. Okay, so that wasn't the one. That's they reportedly tried to take this down. So I have quite a few clips from his Easter service that they took down off of the internet because he says so many stupid things. So let me find another clip from the Easter service. The actual balls of this guy on his Easter service. Maybe it's here. Bear with me. I guess that's why you should label
mail.
things.
And during this period, a letter was sent to Martin Luther King, who was about to get the Nobel Peace Prize. And I think it was written by William Sullivan.
We're gonna
Told King
get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're going to get to that. Not right now. Hold on. Bear with me. Thank you for your support. I'll read your message. A felon. Okay, I'll put your message up. I concur. Very interesting. Very interesting how they cover up what is really being done in the government to the point that we have our military at war for absolutely no reason. Let me remove this from studio. Let me find the clip that I want you guys to see that your president had to say. Oh, maybe it's here. Bear with
today, and they said they didn't put much stead in the public remarks of President Trump because they don't reliably reflect what actually happens. And they went on to say this reflects a trait of him that he is eccentric and unpredictable, which of course we all know. But I mean, there's been a physical response as well to this speech in the region, with alarms going off and missiles and drones being launched by Iran across the region, particularly at the United Arab Emirates within the past few minutes. We've had those reports coming in of attacks from Iran again against those surrounding Gulf Arab states that have been so terribly battered in the course of the past month or so since this Iran war began. These are energy-rich countries that depend almost entirely on energy exports for their survival, and they've seen those revenues because of the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz and because of the attacks on the energy infrastructure absolutely sort of devastated, dropping from billions of dollars a day in some cases to close to zero. And so we're looking at an existential economic crisis for this region.
That was the wrong video. That was the response to his address. Now, if you are unaware, your president will be making another address to the nation tonight. So I don't know what this address to the nation tonight is going to be about. God only knows. So let me share. I found the video clip of what your president actually had to say. Let's get into this. Okay. Let me remove this one and let me show. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I may have to go find the actual. Well, let me show you Paula White fawning over him while I go find his word.
This is where it all gets truly creepy.
But the truth of it is you are here because of God and because of you. And I just wanted to share this thought and then pray over President Trump. Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership, great transformation requires great sacrifice. And Mr. President, no one has paid the price like you have paid the price. It almost cost you your life. You were betrayed and arrested and falsely accused. It's a familiar pattern that our Lord and Savior showed us. But it didn't end there for him, and it didn't end there for you. God always had a plan. On the third day, he rose, he defeated evil, he conquered death, hell, and the grave. And because he rose, we all know that we can rise. And sir, because of his resurrection, you rose up. Because he was victorious, you were victorious. And I believe that the Lord said to tell you this. Because of his victory, you will be victorious in all you put your hand to. Amen. Because God is with you and God is using you to defeat evil, to restore families, to awaken the church, to harvest the nations, and to bring a worldwide revival.
Sorry, adding all those.
To defeat evil. Let's see how this president is going to. She compared everything about him to Jesus Christ. She tried to make everything that happened in the life of Jesus applicable to Donald Trump being shot by these right-wing nut jobs that they try to pretend are Democrats who are taking shots at him. Can you imagine? Now, this is where he's getting his spiritual guidance from. While she ignores this, let's see how she sat up there and ignored this at that same little Easter shindig. Let's see how she ignored this. Let me share this with you right quick. This is your president talking about only wanting to pay for wars. Here we go. Let's start from the beginning.
Can't take care of daycare. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up. But it's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things.
All these individual things.
Jesus taught us so many lessons through his death, burial, and resurrection. He showed us great leadership. Great transformation requires great sacrifice.
Let's get back to the Medicaid. There is a longer clip. I will show you about this as well. The actual audacity of this asshole.
The United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state.
That's not the one.
Take care of daycare.
Hold on. Maybe it's this one, I think it is.
We have a balanced budget because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually said to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money for daycare because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting.
Now, did you hear what he said in the beginning? We have a balanced budget. Now, we know we do not have a balanced budget. We know that these tax cut added trillions of dollars to our national debt. So he is trying to lie and say that we have a balanced budget. Now, if we had a balanced budget, he would not be willing to put on to the budget money for child care. But when we were already had trillions of dollars in deficit, he was willing to add trillions more dollars to our deficit to give billionaires tax cuts. Let that make sense. So we know he's lying that we don't have a balanced budget. But since he want to go on the premise of us having a balanced budget, and God forbid we put something on the back end to pay for child care, I just don't understand how this person has any support when he has put trillions on to give billionaires tax cuts to a budget that we were already had a fucking 30-something trillion-dollar deficit. Let's hear this bullshit again.
We have a balanced budget because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually said,
We have a balanced budget because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually
to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money for daycare because the United States.
Russell Vogt, over the Office of Budget and Management. Russell Vogt, who is one of the architects of Project 2025. You don't have to tell Russell Vogt, don't send nobody no money. Because Russell Vogt, we have, if you are new to my channel, we have gone into Russell Vogt. And Russell Vogt plans for this country are draconian. Now, okay, let's finish this.
States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up. But it's not possible for us to take care of daycare.
They'll have to raise their taxes. Well, who's going to be paying their taxes? Not at one time did he say we're going to have to rescind the taxes that we did under that big bloated bill. No, he didn't say nothing about the obvious choice to pay for things. But they don't care about paying for things for you people who vote for them. The obvious choice would be to charge millionaires and billionaires more money in taxes to pay for things that we're the richest country in the world. You notice how it's always all of these bragging rights. We have the best military. We're the richest country, as the citizens in this country are getting poorer and poorer and poorer. We'll have to raise their taxes, and we'll give them a little tax cut. This is your president. This is who you voted for. Some of you, not all of you. This is who is running the show. Okay, I just wanted to let's see what you guys are talking about. Okay. He inherited the deficit. Don't blame him for it. Trump is a great president. God bless him. God bless you and your small little dumb mind. Yeah. President Clinton inherited a deficit as well. President George W. Bush. No. George Bush, he inherited a balanced budget. He inherited from Clinton a balanced budget. What did he do with it? So who are you blaming for it? Who are you blaming for the budget that Trump inherited? Because all other presidents inherited a fucked up budget. But Barack Obama took so much money off of the budget that he handed over to Donald Trump. And what did he do? He blew the budget up with his first rounds of tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. He inherited his own budget. And then he made those same draconian tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires permanent. He inherited his own shit. That's what he inherited. So if you want to talk about inheritance, that's he was the one who put all of the fucking deficit on our budget. trying to give millionaires and billionaires tax cuts in his first term. So we're gonna pretend like that ain't happened. We're gonna pretend like he's not putting money. He's not putting us in a deficit, in a hole, by paying for all of these wars and all of these bombings that he's doing all over the world. So we pay, or we can pay for that dumb shit. But what do you get from that? What? How does that? All of these wars? How does these strikes in Yemen, Venezuela, uh, where else? Over in Africa. What do you get out of this? How does this improve how you live your life as an American citizen? Huh? And what does it cost you? The Pentagon already has a $1 trillion budget, and they're talking about going back to Congress and asking for $200 billion more dollars. As Pete Kegbreath just blew away $93 billion in September of last year, talking about he had to use it or lose it. So they just wanted to make sure that they spent all the money that was in a $830 something billion budget, when they already had a $1 trillion budget approved in July of last year. So why was it in September of last year he blew $93 billion away under the guise if we don't use all our budget, we may not get the same amount in the budget next year. His next year budget had already increased to $1 trillion from $830 something billion. So what do you want to talk about inheriting what? You want to talk about how great the president is. And he's talking about increasing the military budget to $1.5 trillion in his next budget. But you want to talk dumb shit because Americans' lives are impacted. Americans are the ones who he expects to raise taxes to take care of, that states have to take care of Medicare and Medicaid. And you probably living in a poor red state that can't cover shit already. That California, the state that y'all like to talk about, is the fourth largest economy, is the one who is paying for you poor motherfuckers in these red states who vote against your own interests. And then blue states, the people who are really making money, have to pay for the shit that you get from the government. Where you think you get your shit from the government if your state is dirt poor? You get it from blue states. The revenue that blue states put into the federal government, you dummies. Talking about what he inherited. No, he inherited what he added to the motherfucking debt. That's what he inherited. Exactly. War, but no health care. Let me see what you guys say. Okay. That was sarcasm. Okay. I wasn't speaking to you, though. I was speaking to someone else. Amy enlightened us. Who is Amy? What is Amy saying? Amy said that was sarcasm. Oh my God. I concur. I definitely concur with you on that. Now, do you guys know that there has been a F-35 fighter jet that was down this morning. Since we have eliminated all of their striking power and all of their drones, and they're just, they're nothing. They're done with. This morning, there has been another F-35 fighter plane that was down. Prayers to the service member. It is speculated. Now, there are two trains of thought that are going around. One train of thought is that they are searching for the crew members, the two crew members, and there are other stories out. I can't play them for you because they are still live with these stories that there's pictures of the fighter jet, there's pictures of one ejected seat, and there's speculations that one of the people was taken hostage. So I'm not clear on what happened, and you will not get no clarity waiting on the Pentagon to tell you anything. If you saw my story yesterday, um, they really are suspecting that they are withholding information about deaths. The Pentagon is allegedly withholding the true numbers of deaths in this in this conflict, as they want to call it. Now, I wonder why. Your president, in that last clip, he said we are fighting wars. Now, he said out of his own mouth that we are fighting wars in that last clip that I showed you. But he also has said that I don't want to call it a war, because if I call it a war, I would have to go to Congress. So I don't understand. See, this is why we got to get a lot of people out of government. We got to get. I cannot understand the inaction of the Democrat Party at this juncture in this calamity that is only going to wreak havoc in the lives of the American people. I don't understand why more people are not on the chopping block to be hauled out of this administration to the nearest jail for all of the war crimes that are being committed, for all of the talks about what war crimes he will commit. If now he's saying that Iran better come to an agreement, or he's going to bomb them back to the Stone Age. But then he tells you that they have killed all of their leaders. But then he tells you he is negotiating with someone who is a new leader, and he is much more manageable, and he is making more sense. But he can't tell you who the name of this person is. So my question is, how is Iran going to come to an agreement? And who are you trying to make this agreement with? And if all of the leaders in Iran are dead, who's going to make this agreement? But he's demanding an agreement be met. Make sense of this. We have no factual information that there are any talks being done with anyone from Iran. The one spokesperson from Iran who Trump tried to say he was negotiating with said he is absolutely not negotiating with Donald Trump. We don't even know if the person named even has the power to negotiate for the Iranian people, the Iranian nation. We don't even know what power this person has. He said they're not negotiating with me. He's like, don't be calling my name out. He ain't negotiating with me. So let's get into this story about what happened to this F-35, I believe it is. Okay, yes. Here we go. U.S. fighter jet shot down in Iran. Search underway for crew. That was today. Let me see if the date is on here. Yes, that is today. Iran has shot down a U.S. fighter jet, per Iranian media and a source familiar with the incident. And a search and rescue effort is underway to locate two crew. The big picture. It would be the first time since the beginning of the war that a U.S. jet was down by enemy fire. I disagree with that. I do believe that they were the ones who shot down that other F-35. Do believe that the military is lying about that first F-35 that was shot down. Okay, driving the news. On Friday, Iranian state media published pictures and videos that allegedly show parts of the downed plane and one of the ejected seats. The photos and videos suggest it's a F-15 fighter jet. So that's all they have on that. So you know, you notice how everything is hush hush around here about the facts that are on the ground. Now there is something else I would like to share with you. Let me share. Let me share something else with you. Y'all still here? Y'all know that while they're telling you that they have depleted all the Iranians' missile capabilities and uh, uh, their launching sites, that it is being reported over 50% of Iranian launching sites are fine and good, that they have approximately over 10,000 missiles. Are you aware of that? The other side of the story? Now, what if they're winning? What are they winning? What is the win? If I'm ignorant, leave. Hit the like button on the way out. Say tell me something that I said that wasn't true. Uh, tell me something I said that wasn't true. You're angry, so you think that you calling me ignorant is effective, as I'm telling you the whole truth. We know who's ignorant. You probably are one of those ignorant people who voted against your own interests. So what are you winning in this war? How is this enriching your life? How is it helping you pay your bills? What was Iran doing to encroach upon your way of life in America? Hmm? Since I'm ignorant. So please educate me. Educate me then, bitch. Okay, I digress. People, people who still think Trump has done a good job should undergo a mental evaluation. I concur. Trump sure did unite Danes and Greenlanders, the rest of NATO, most of Europe, and weakened political right-wing movements in Europe. And don't forget Putin. Do not forget Putin. Putin had his sanctions lifted. Putin is gallivanting over there in Ukraine as free as he want to be. At the same time, the U.S. Said that they are going to stop helping Ukraine if NATO don't come help them fix their fuck up of having the Straits of Hormuz closed. So this is the threat to NATO. If you don't help me, I may not continue to help Ukraine. But Ukraine is supposed to be our ally. Ukraine is the ones who told the United States that, hey, we have figured out how to take down these expensive missiles that Putin is shooting over here in Ukraine with $20 and $30,000 drones that we're making, as the U.S. military is trying to fight a war that they appear to be losing in Iraq. Ukraine says, hey, we have a less expensive option to show you how we are down these $1 billion what do you call the things that guys that the $1 billion things that tracks the incoming missiles. We have drones that can tear those down, and they are $20 and $30,000, while y'all are spending billions of dollars, and we can make these very, very quickly. While it takes over 6 months to a year to make some of the shit that y'all are tearing up and losing in this war and unable to fight and are able to be tracked by the Iranians. While you can't find what they tracking you with, they can find your tracking shit and tear it up and then come in with more missiles and fuck you up. These cluster missiles that they have would that open up in about 30 motherfucking warheads come out of one missile. Oh, see, we have a solution for that. You can attack those with these small drones, but instead of accepting the help from their allies who are showing themselves to be allies to them by even offering to help these motherfuckers, they tell them that we ain't gonna give Ukraine no more information if you don't help us open up the Strait of Hormuz, the shit that was open before we took our stupid asses over there. And now that is the reason why we are saying the war won't end until you open up the Strait of Hormuz. As if that's the reason why you went over there, motherfucker. The Straits of Hormuz was already open. You were the one who closed them. You were the ones who closed them. You didn't tell your allies, you didn't tell your NATO allies that you was going over there and fuck up shit. Maybe your NATO allies, when your stupid ass would have told them, would have cautioned you about the Strait of Hormuz possibly being closed and how that would affect the whole world. But no, you went over there listening to Benjamin Netanyahu tell you it was going to be a cakewalk. But you fucked around and found out. Now let's talk about this dumb Pete Kegbreath. Let's talk about Pete Kegbreath. Now we know that I told you last week that Pete Kegbreath wanted to take off 4 people who were up for promotion. They were 2 black people and 2 women. And they were up for a 1-star promotion. So I don't know if they were getting their first star. I don't know if they were going from a 1-star to a 2-star, a 2-star to a 3-star, a 3-star to a 4-star. I know that they were up for a 1-star promotion, not knowing how many stars or if they already had any stars. So Pete Kegbreath went through the list, and Pete Kegbreath is a straight up a white supremacist in my book. He goes to the white nationalist church, whose pastor I have showed you plenty of time, that says slavery wasn't inherently bad. These were just people of their times. There was all slave masters didn't treat their slaves badly. It wasn't inherently bad. That's what Pete Kegbreath, pastor, said. So shit. What do you think Pete Hegseth believes? And he also went to the church in D.C. of the fat fuck who claims to be a Christian nationalist, said that women shouldn't have the right to vote. The vote should be within the family, and the family should get together. And what if the family disagree? What if the family disagree and the wife wants to vote for a different candidate? No, no, no. They said women shouldn't have the right to vote. The man should vote for the family. That's what it said. Period. Point blank. Whatever. It don't matter what the women want. That whatever. So Cagbreath told said no. Cagbreath took 4 people off the list. Now, it wasn't known that even if Cagbreath even had the authority to take these people off the list. So, what did Cagbreath do instead? Cagbreath demanded some general take these people off the list. Let me get my story, pull my story. I thought I already had it up. I apologize. So, he had a general. Now, this is the top general in the military that he has fired because that general refused to take these people off of the promotion list. He said that these people have worked hard and they deserve their promotion. This general that Cagbreath fired because he refused to take black people and women off the promotion list. I want you to understand. Let me see. These people, here it is. This general in specific was worked directly under Lloyd Austin. Who was Lloyd Austin? Lloyd Austin was the black qualified 4-star general who had the job that Pete Cagbreath has. The 4-star general. So this general had much experience and was fired by a numbnut, a Fox News weekend co-host of 4. Okay, Hegseth. Let me share the page with you. Okay, here we go. Now, how is somebody who can't even co-host a weekday show? He has to co-host a weekend show, and it has to be a 2 or 3 co-hosts there to pull the show off. He can't even co-host a show by himself, but he is running a $1 trillion budget and the military, and he has fired up to 12 generals, 12 experienced generals in during this war and the run up to this war. He has fired 12 experienced generals. Now, you know who is taking this general's place? His chief of staff, or somebody that the Hegseth has as his chief of staff. You remember Cagbreath staff was leaking stuff and telling on each other and all jealous of each other and stabbing each other in the back. This is who's taking this general place. Somebody that Cagbreath has chosen to be his own chief of staff. So you know he is useless. In the middle of a war that it appears that the United States is doing poorly in. I'll put it that way. Cagbreath outs top Army general. The departure of Army Chief of State General Randy George follows a string of high-level firings under the Defense Secretary's Cagbreath and comes amid the Iran war. Look now. Look at his chest. Look at those pins on his chest, and look at Pete Cagbreath chest. What do you see on Pete Cagbreath's chest? You see a folded up American flag in his in his suit pocket, a pocket square, a folded up American flag to make it appears like he is wearing some bars on his chest. That's what you see, a desecrated, folded up flag in his suit jacket pocket. And look at the fucking bars on this man who gets fired by a numbnut with a pocket square of a desecrated American flag. Look at the pins on this man. Okay. Randy George is the latest in a line of more than a dozen top military officials that Kegbreath has ousted. Let's get it. Defense Secretary Pete Kegbreath on Tuesday asked the Army's top general to step down from his role and immediately retire. Now, the black general, I think he was a 3-star general who was over he was an admiral, I believe. He was over the operation that they had of all of those ships in Venezuela, and when they started striking those boats in Venezuela, he was a career military official too. I do believe he was a 3-star admiral. Suddenly, he quit his post in the middle of it was a three-year post, and he quit his job, I believe, after the first year. And they found that was strange, and he retired. Then it came out later that Pete Kegbreath demanded that he step down from his post and retire. So let's keep it a buck. See, these people in the military can't come out right now because what you remember when Pete Kegbreath tried to bring Senator what is his name, Mark Kelly back off of retirement and tried to censure him and decrease his retirement pay because he made that commercial saying do not follow any unlawful orders, as if he had done something wrong, and saying what the military commanders command book says: do not follow any unlawful orders. He didn't say any names. He said do not follow any unlawful orders. So understand that if these people who are retiring come out and say something about there were any arguments, do you think that these career service people are agreeing with this unhinged person that is presenting himself, telling you at the podium about all the war crimes that he is going to commit? He said he is not going to offer any what do they call it? He's not going to offer them any. I forget what it's called. When there is somebody who's wounded in the battlefield, you cannot just leave them out there. We know that when they found that when they struck that fishing boat out near Venezuela, that they found out that 2 people were still living, and they went back and they killed those people. They were not supposed to do that. They were supposed to rescue those people, and they were supposed to give them what is it called? They were supposed to give them they were supposed to render them aid, and they were supposed to save them from the water. What is it called? I forget what it's called. I'm not in the military. But Pete Kegbreath came out during this war and said that no, he's not going to give them any protections once they are wounded on the battlefield. I think somebody should know in the chat, what the fuck am I trying to say? Give them what? Nobody knows. Thank you for the super chat. Do you know Erica Alexander? No, who is Erica Alexander? I don't know that person. I'm from Europe. Please, no hate. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know. I forget what it's called. Anyway, so what was I saying? So Kegbreath already says that he's not going to give them protection, which is an order of the military. So do you believe that these generals were agreeing with the war plan that Pete Kegbreath comes out? We're gonna kill everybody, and we're not gonna give them any refuge or anything, and we're gonna be savage and da 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 da. Do you think that all of these military people who were career military, who earned their stripes and their stars, do you think that they gave him pushback on the idiotic war plans that he is spewing? Has Pete Kegbreath came out and said anything that makes any fucking sense? Pete Kegbreath has come out and told you in 900 different ways how he is willing to commit war crimes. Pete Kegbreath told you in his confirmation hearing that he didn't want to abide by the rules of the Geneva Convention. He said that uh, the warriors' hands needed to be free so they could fight people right like the people were fighting them, and they're fighting people who are not even in uniform, and the warriors' hands needed to be free from all of those rooms and those wood panel walls that were made 80 years ago. We need to free the hand of the warrior, is what Pete Kegbreath said in his confirmation hearing. And in one of his press conferences, he told you that 4547 had freed the hand of the warriors to be able to fight. So what he told you was that he is fighting and they are not abiding by the rules of the Geneva Convention. If you were here, I've been following this since his confirmation hearing. We watched his confirmation hearing. I have replayed his confirmation hearing. I replayed his confirmation hearing when he did this press conference about Iran, talking about freeing the hands of the warrior. They are not fighting within the rules of the Geneva Convention, per his own words. Per his own words. So, do you think that these career military people were giving Kegbreath pushback? I do believe. Okay. Defense Secretary Pete Kegbreath on Thursday asked Army's top general to step down from his role immediately and immediately retired, extending the Trump administration's purge of top military officials and creating a key Pentagon vacancy amid the largest U.S. conflict in the Middle East in 2 decades. Army Chief of Staff General Randy George made it almost 3 of his 4 years in the post, which began during the Biden administration. The Pentagon, which confirmed the firing, did not specify why. A highly ranking general has served as a senior military aide to former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, so was not seen as a Hegseth loyalist because he because if he served under Lloyd Austin, he knew what the fuck he was doing. He had the qualities to serve under Lloyd Austin, who also knew what the fuck he was doing. So of course, why would he be a follower of Kegbreath, who knows nothing of what his job is about? General Randy A. George will be retiring from his position as the 41st Chief of Staff of Army effective immediately. Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said in a X post on Thursday. The Department of War is grateful for General George's decades of service to our nation. Parnell said in a post on X Thursday afternoon, "We wish him well in his retirement." Oh, so they're trying to be cute and coy because their asses are not on the line. So they're sending all these troops out here, and they're firing experienced generals. They're not taking advice from people who have studied war for decades. No, they are putting in loyalists. They're putting in people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. But they're sending our service men and women out there under their command of motherfuckers who don't know what they're doing. Let's keep it real clear. Okay, George, who commanded the Army's 4th Infantry Division and 1st Corps in Afghanistan, forged a close partnership with Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, partly over their desire to transform the service into a leaner, tech-savvy force eager to learn from the Ukraine war effective use of cheap drones. But see, your administration now, at least they understand that, hey, we may need to learn from Ukraine. But what is your president saying? Oh, NATO, if you don't help me, we're not going to help Ukraine anymore. But you see the difference here? You see the difference? You see who's leaving, who's being retired by these numbskulls? This is who's being retired by people who don't know shit. Trump is getting war clips, 2-minute war clips, and making decisions about the war because he is too scatterbrained to actually get a full, in-depth, detailed update about what's actually going on in this war. So they know that they can pacify this fool with 2-minute clips of a whole lot of shit blowing up and have him believe that we are actually winning over here. Okay. I hope none of you have children or loved ones that have been called up to serve in this war. I really hope. Okay. George could not immediately be reached for a comment. CBS News first reported his ouster. The general who commanded the Army 4th Infantry Division and 1st Corps in Afghanistan forged. I already said that. Oh, they rewrote that. I didn't do that. They rewrote that. George is the latest in a line of more than a dozen top military officials that Hegseth has ousted, including former Joint Chief of including former Joint Chief of they don't have the word. Chief of Staff Chair General C.Q. Brown, Chief of Naval Operation Admiral Lisa Franchetti, and Air Force Vice Chief of Staff General James Slife. The Pentagon said Army Vice Chair of Staff General Christopher Lenerve Hegseth, former military aide, will serve in an acting role. Pentagon said Army Vice Chief of Staff General Christopher Levine, Hegseth former military aide, will serve in an acting role. What acting role? We have seen so many different roles that have been opened up. Now, what it is not saying, in this article, we're going to have to get to where it is stated that George and Driscoll refused to remove the 4 officers for promotion, 2 of which were black and 2 who were female. So let's get to that reporting. That is the alleged catalyst for their termination. Keg Breath is in my opinion, a racist. And he doesn't want to see blacks or women excel in the military. So let's get to where that is being reported, shall we? I think it was on Breaking Points. Let me share that with you. Hold on one second. Okay. Let me refresh you with the story, first of all.
Is facing increased scrutiny. Today, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is facing increased scrutiny over a highly unusual decision to block the promotion of 4 Army officers. Senior military officials tell the New York Times Hegseth stopped 2 black officers and 2 female officers from becoming 1-star generals. In a statement to the Times, the Pentagon did not directly address Hegseth's decision, but said, quote, military promotions are given to those who have earned them. Joining me now is Greg Jaffe, one of the reporters behind that piece. Welcome to you, Greg. What more can you tell us about Hegseth's decision and the officers who were targeted?
So the main thing is that this is just really highly unusual, that the Army and Secretary Hegseth have been sort of bickering over this or arguing over this. Bickering's not the right word, for months now. It's not clear that Secretary Hegseth has the legal authority to pull these names off the list. Those are the main things, I think.
Okay, so can anything be done to fight it? And I remember reading something that he has to approve, or typically the defense secretary has to approve the entire list or not approve the entire list. Is that true? And in this case, does it apply?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's either an up or down on the entire list. And the reason is because the process is supposed to be apolitical. And so the idea is, in doing it that way, it takes politics out. The list has now gone to the White House, which will review it, and then it will go to the Senate. So I think the main chance to reverse this is possibly in the Senate, which could take a position that, this process was improper and then kick it back to the Pentagon.
So, Greg, you also report about a heated conversation between Hegseth's chief of staff, that's Ricky Buria, and Army Secretary Daniel Driscoll. It was last summer, and it was about a separate promotion. 3 current and former defense and administration officials familiar with the exchange say Buria said President Trump would not want to stand next to a black female officer at military events. Buria, for his part, has called the account of that interaction false. But what does this signal to you about the culture at the Pentagon that Hegseth and top DOD officials are trying to create?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the right word, culture or sort of command climate. I think there's a lot of confusion and uncertainty about that has grown out of sort of Hegseth's DEI, anti-DEI push. And his writings, both before he became secretary and his speeches since, that people were improperly promoted because of race or gender. And so kind of nobody knows where the line is, or nobody completely seems to understand what the standard is. And, you know, it's worth noting the language in his book on this topic was exceptionally harsh. He called, you know, many of the generals promoted under Secretary Lloyd Austin and President Biden, he described them as, you know, cowards hiding under their stars and whores to wokesters. So, you know, we put that language out there. I think it has a real chilling effect on people.
Oh, yeah. Well, on top of that, Hegseth has repeatedly said he wants to cut out woke from the military and make it all merit-based. But now the chairman and vice chair of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, all 5 service chiefs and 9 of the 10 top commanders, Greg, they're white men. So what impact does that have on our military and service members?
Well, I think it's worth noting, too, that the military, you know, is around 40 to 45%, you know, people of color. And so it's a very diverse military. You know, Hegseth likes to say that diversity is our strength is the dumbest phrase that's ever been written about the military or spoken about the military. You know, he says unity is our strength, but they're not mutually exclusive, I don't think. But so I think it says a lot to those folks. Hey, do I have a fair chance to rise in this system? A lot of people go to the military because they believe it's a meritocracy and that they'll be judged on their performance. And I think all of this infighting, all of this rhetoric causes people to question whether that's accurate.
Gotta say, I wish you could see my notes. I marked up here. It's a pretty stunning report. There are yellow highlights all throughout this thing, so I recommend folks read it. Greg, thank you so much.
Okay, that is the complete story on that. So, I am trying to find. I am trying to find where I heard the connection with their firings to refusing to take these names off the list. Let's go. Let's go here, shall we? Bear with me. This could be it. I could be wrong. I need to do
stuff I have for you is that Trump today posts on Truth Social that there's been this breakthrough, that he's pausing his threat to bomb the Iranian electrical grid and other energy infrastructure because there have been these talks going on between the United States and Iran. And Trump implies that he has some secret squirrel that he's talking to in Iran, and he doesn't want to name who it is because he doesn't want that person to be killed. It's unclear, does he mean by Israel?
No, that is from my story on yesterday. If you want to see how Trump is pretending like he has someone who he's talking to, visit my story on yesterday. I want to get to this.
And it's unimpeachable. The cars using AI, but those kind of applications using
Hold on.
AI, if we can use AI and
applications
using AI.
If I can pause it, my goodness. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to go on to the next story. When I find that story, I will bring it back to you. Thank you for your super chat. If you are unfamiliar with Larry Ellison, he owns a lot of the media, Tic Tac. He has just been approved for this big merger for Warner Brothers to Paramount and Brothers to be combined. His son is also in the business of buying up a whole lot of media outlet. Why that is a problem is because he believes that everyone should be surveilled. Now, over a year ago, I gave you this story about how these tech billionaires Peter Thiel from Palantir was the first person who I spoke about, who believes that everything about uh, all parts of your life should be surveilled under the guise of security to make you secure. But I also let you know that they have this social currency that they use in China, based upon them knowing everything about everyone's life, where you go, what books you read, what you pull up on the internet, what you write, who you call, everything about you. This is a social currency that they use in China to keep you in the station of life that they believe you belong in. For instance, if they believe that you are in a certain station of life, that you should not be able to purchase a airplane ticket and go somewhere. If they believe you are in a station of life that you shouldn't be able to visit this neighborhood, that is how they keep their population in control in China. There are surveillance cameras everywhere, and with facial recognition. And if you go into a neighborhood that you don't belong, you will be quickly accosted. Every time you walk past a camera, it is identifying you wholly and thoroughly by name and all of the details about you, just walking down the street. So, this is Larry Ellison, one of the richest man in the world, saying that this would be good to do, and he wants to do this all across America. If you are also unfamiliar with Larry Ellison, he is the founder of Oracle. Now, Oracle just laid off 30,000 workers with a 6 a.m. email because they want to commit more of their money to AI. And they told these people that today is your last day via email at 6 a.m. 30,000 workers. I gave you that story yesterday. If you didn't see that story yesterday, now understand that he wants to commit money that he would be paying 30,000 workers into AI. Now, this is his vision of what AI would be able to do. So this is where I'm going with this Larry Ellison story. Let's get into this. Now, the CIA tried this in the 50s. In the 50s, the CIA didn't have computers and such, but it didn't work. No, the FBI tried this in the 50s up into the 60s. Okay, so uh, now with this computers and these algorithms and these cameras everywhere, Larry Ellison feels that this is something that he can sell for protection, but really he doesn't have to sell it because 4547 is not letting any states put any limits on AI. It is in that big busted bill that states cannot regulate AI. So Larry Ellison is in the White House all the time, sitting up under your president, and AI cannot be regulated. Okay, so this is what Larry Ellison has in store for you.
And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. All right, we have, I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras. It's AI that's looking at the cameras. No, no, no. You can't do this. It would be like,
It's not people looking at the cameras. It's AI looking at the camera. So that's autonomous AI is what he's talking about. He's not, they're not even, look, they taking the job away from the people who would be watching the camera. All of this is AI, autonomous AI. You know how autonomous AI has been getting people arrested based on facial recognition. A whole lot of people have been arrested and they are not even the person, but the cops are not doing investigation. They're just saying, well, AI said you're such and such. You have to go down. AI said, no, we got you on facial recognition. AI said, this is you. Okay. Are we clear on that? Are we clear on the problems with autonomous AI? Are we clear on the dependence upon AI that some police jurisdictions will not even investigate or question any facts about what AI now? Who is controlling the facts that AI can download upon the wrong person? Let's continue.
like a shooting. That's going to be immediately, that's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off. It's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
Police will be on their best behavior because we're recording everything. Citizens will be on their best behavior. So if that is true, you wouldn't even need police. If citizens are going to be on their best behavior because you're recording everything all the time, and who is this we that's recording everything all the time? It is AI that is recording everything all the time, and AI is the ones that are watching everything all the time. So couldn't you program into AI that police could do a certain illegal things? Couldn't you just program AI to not alert when a police officer infringe upon the rights of someone that they are speaking with? Could you, we know that the Constitution means absolutely nothing to a lot of people in the United States. So couldn't you just program that in to the AI that is watching the police officer that it won't hit on people's rights being violated by the police? This is what is in store for you with all of this AI watching everything you do. We are turning in a police state under the guise of keeping you safe. They are using the guise protections. They will be able to see every email you write, every instant message, every DM, everything that you use will be chronicled. So why is this bad? It's horrible. Let me go to my next clip about this. Let me I'll share this with you.
Second richest person on earth who's gobbling up a lot of the media in this country, who is a major investor in AI, predicts an AI-powered surveillance state is coming where, this is Larry Ellison, major investor, this is what he says, where citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that is going on, end quote. That's your phone calls, your texts, your emails, websites that you visit, it will be recorded if we continue the current trends. Larry Ellison, second richest person on earth who's gobbling.
That's it.
Larry Ellison, second richest person on earth who's gobbling up a lot of the media in this country.
Hey Sabar, no, I do not want to go to China. Thanks for putting David Ellison, the CEO of Paramount Skydance. It's Larry Ellison's son. I couldn't remember his name. iRobot, the movie in real life. I've never seen iRobot. RonyiQ, I reclaim my time. Do you want to come up, Sabar? Are you are you at work? And have you heard about the social what is it? The social credit that goes on in China? Let me pull up that. Let me pull up the social credit in China.
Oh.
So you can understand. I have played this once. Everyone has a social credit score, and it only allows you to do certain things. China ranks good and bad citizens with social credit systems. Let me share this with you. Here we go.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it. And anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. A financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, raising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wen Wang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wen Wang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wen Wang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Yu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry, because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Yu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social credit hierarchy.
So if you are unaware about all of this...
In 2019, horrifying footage from Xinjiang, China stunned the world. It showed shackled and blindfolded Uyghur Muslims taking off...
Hold on. If you were unaware of this social credit system, that is nothing new. They talk about China, how restrictive China is, but they are actually getting their ideas from communist China. Let me show another quick one. I have a short. I think this is the one right here.
Today in China, there are some 600 million surveillance cameras, one for every 2 citizens, able to track people's movements down to the minute.
Every street corner, there's facial recognition, there's digital recognition, there's the social credit system.
Now, this is exactly what he was talking about. This is exactly. You will be watching. They will know you. You will be scared to do something. Everyone would be watched. This is exactly what Ellison was speaking of.
The social credit system is the sort of highest aspiration of the Chinese Communist Party, to have everything every human being does go into a computer system. And with AI and all sorts of other sophisticated programming, you can know exactly where a person is because he'll have bought something with a credit card or a digital payment system. His car will have gone down a highway. Every kilometer, there's a camera taking pictures of your license plate. They will know everything about everybody real time. This creates a kind of a techno-autocratic system that's unprecedented and with which we've had no experience.
And it seems like
today in China,
and it seems like they want the Americans to have that same experience of billionaires being able to control you and take away your rights via these surveillance systems that they want to pretend that they are keeping you safe. Now, can you guys hear me? For some reason, I am not showing. Oh, I'm here. Okay. So that's. Let me make sure that's all I had. I think I had several more articles that I wanted to share as well. Now, there's a story that 4547 told Pam Bondi the day before he fired her that she was being fired. Let me see what else. Bondi isn't off the hook for her deposition under oath on April 14th. Now, a lot of people are speculating that the reason why Bondi was fired is because of many different reasons. One reason is that she has been uh, scheduled for a sworn deposition uh, in front of the oversight committee. And if you remember, about 2 weeks ago, Pam Bondi gave Congress a 24-hour notice to come to some presentation that she was giving. And it was speculated that Pam Bondi was trying to use this opportunity where she was not under oath, where she called herself allowing Congress to question her about anything. But see, they saw that for what it was. They saw that as her trying to say, well, I've answered all the questions that you had of me. And we had this whole sit down meeting, and she gave them 24 hours to be available to come to that meeting. And it was like, bitch, we're not doing this. This is what we're not doing. We're not asking you questions while you're not under oath, while there are no lawyers or court reporters here. No, bitch, we're not doing this. We'll see you on April 14th. So now some people thought that she would be free and clear because she's no longer the over the Department of Justice, but that is not true. She will still have to show up for her deposition. Robert Garcia of California came out and said that they have checked on all of that, and Pam Bimbo will still have to show up for her hearing. So I think I have the clip from Robert Garcia saying that she indeed has to show up for her subpoena. Let me share this with you. Yes, it was Robert Garcia. This is from Brian Taylor Cohen. Go check him out. I will drop the link in the chat and the description box. Let me share my screen with you. So Pam Bimbo is still on the link on the chain for having to answer to the subpoena.
For April 14th. Compelling her to come testify for a closed-door deposition with the House Oversight Committee. Trump. The question remains, though, that given the fact that she's out of her position now, will the subpoena compelling her to come testify for a closed-door deposition with the House Oversight Committee still apply for April 14th?
It does apply. First, the subpoena we put in place does not have any mention of whether the fact, she's AG or not. And the subpoena is for Pam Bondi. And so whether she is in a position or not, she legally is required to appear before the Oversight Committee on April the 14th, which is the date that Comer set for her to come. We've checked this already out today with all the lawyers and the attorneys. And so she now has to come testify. She can come and do the right thing and finally be honest about actually what happened, why the cover-up, why 50% of the files have not been released. And look, she no longer has to work for Donald Trump. So let's actually get to the truth.
What happens in the event that she refuses to comply?
If she refuses to comply, I'll be the first one to submit contempt charges against her because she would have to then be accountable to the entire Congress. I mean, look, we had Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton come testify. We had the former AG Bill Barr come testify about the Epstein files. There's no reason why the one person that probably knows more in the current government about this investigation shouldn't stand and before us under oath and give full testimony.
So the oversight Republicans released a statement saying, quote, since Pam Bondi is no longer Attorney General, Chairman Comer will speak with Republican members and the Department of Justice about the status of the deposition subpoena and confer on next steps. Does that sound to you like James Comer and oversight Republicans are looking for an out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what it didn't sound like to me was saying that she didn't have to come testify. I think that James Comer knows that the only way to reverse that subpoena is to come in front of the committee again and force a vote for us to actually remove the subpoena. And I think there's enough Republicans there that likely will keep their courage like they did last time and actually ensure that the subpoena actually moves forward. And so Comer cannot somehow retract the subpoena on his own, or even with him and Republicans, because he was voted by the entire committee and done in a way that was bipartisan. And so she must come in to testify unless he tries to pull some type of major vote in the committee. And I'm not sure that all Republicans would go along with that.
Well, it's worth asking, too, what would the rationale be for wanting Pam Bondi there as Attorney General and to get some answers as to what's going on, but suddenly not wanting to hear from her 2 weeks from now, even though she's not in that role? It's not like it's not like her mind is erased. And so any information that she has about the suppression of the Epstein files, for example, about why Ghislaine Maxwell was moved to a low security prison, she doesn't lose that information. She would still be able to answer those questions, whether she's Attorney General or not.
Well, that's exactly right. And look, I think it's also pretty evident that Donald Trump probably doesn't want her to testify. He probably didn't want her to testify as AG. He certainly doesn't want her to testify as a private citizen, not as Attorney General. I think that now, look, she's got to think about herself. She is not going to be working for Donald Trump. She's going to be under oath. She could be held in contempt. She certainly should not be lying to the Congress. Certainly as a private citizen, she has no executive privilege. And so I think this is an opportunity for her to actually do the right thing and help us get to the truth and help us move this investigation forward. There are too many survivors out there that need justice. And this is an opportunity for her to come in and actually tell us why there has been this White House cover-up, who directed it, who directed the move Ghislaine Maxwell to a less secure prison. These questions have to be answered.
In terms of accountability for Pam Bondi, if indeed she does refuse to comply with this lawful subpoena, can you talk about the statute of limitations? Even though, during this administration, obviously there's nobody at the DOJ who would seek to hold her accountable, but what could it look like in subsequent administrations?
Right. Well, look, all subpoenas are essentially active within that Congress, within that period of time. And so, right now, obviously, we're here through the end of the year. She has to comply, and we would move to hold her in contempt immediately if she didn't comply with the subpoena. And certainly, as a private citizen, she doesn't have the Department of Justice or the president able to play games as it relates to her and her scheduling. I think she's going to be quite available here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
In addition, our plan, and certainly mine, we're going to win the Congress, and we're going to win back the House. And
Okay.
I think she's going to try to.
So you can go over there and hear the rest of this from Brian Taylor Cohen. The link is also in my description box. The first link under Deposed. Let me see. Okay.
Israel's parliament has passed a bill approving the death penalty for Palestinians convicted of nationalistic murder. This represents the culmination.
Now, understand that there are many Palestinians who have been convicted of nationalistic murder. These children who have been throwing rocks that they have arrested. Understand. They are not talking about literally taking lives in some cases. The Knesset met up together, and they were pouring out champagne, rejoicing that all of the Palestinian prisoners that they have are found guilty of these things, that they are going to be able to hang them. And it was very striking. If you go over to Sabby Sab's page, it was very striking to see that they all had a lapel pin. You may not have paid close attention to it, but it was a lapel pin of a noose. This is what they were wearing when they took the vote. When the vote passed, they all celebrated and was pouring champagne all over the
Of a
floors and
years-long push by
where they
Israel's
voted
far
and the
right
whole
to
nine.
escalate punishments for Palestinians convicted of murdering Israelis. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, to vote yes for the measure.
This is where they were throwing up champagne and celebrating the vote.
This is a law that rights groups, Israeli and Palestinian, have denounced as draconian and unethical. It's also yielded condemnation from.
And do you find it odd that Benjamin Netanyahu can show up here for this vote? But there have been many setbacks in his trials because his trials against war crimes, because of this and that, and he has belly ache and all of these different reasons why he has not been able to show up for his criminal trial. But he can show up for this. Let's continue.
From foreign ministers of European countries and Australia who say the language of the bill is de facto discriminatory. In effect, what the bill does is mandate that military courts in the West Bank dole out the death penalty as punishment for Palestinians convicted of nationalistic murder. It gives Israeli courts a bit more leniency, saying that judges in Israeli courts can choose between the death penalty and life imprisonment for Israeli citizens convicted of this offense. The language of the bill, legal experts say, makes it very hard to believe that it will ever be applied to Jewish citizens of Israel.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
Israel is facing a global outcry after the Israeli Knesset approved a death penalty law designed to only apply to Palestinians. The Association for Civil Rights in Israel petitioned the country's Supreme Court to strike down the law minutes after it passed, calling it discriminatory by design.
We go now to Tel Aviv, where we're joined by Sarit Mikaeli, International Outreach Director at the Israeli human rights group B'Tselem. Explain what the Knesset just passed, Sarit.
Thank you. It's a privilege being with you, Amy and Nermeen. So the Israeli Knesset essentially passed, I'll simplify, a law that applies only to Palestinians, both in Israel's civil courts and in the Israeli military courts that are run in the West Bank. And essentially it means that if Palestinians in these circumstances, in these instances are found guilty of killing, of murder with an opposition or an intention that is terroristic in nature, that is opposed, quote unquote, to the state of Israel, then essentially there is a death penalty. There are some differences between the two systems, but the basic discriminatory nature, the basic fact that this will be only applied to Palestinians is across the board, is the same across the board. This shocking, this egregious, draconian law pretends to be somehow based on any sort of grounded in some sort of objective criteria, but essentially it's basically specifically written to apply only to Palestinians.
So, Sarit, so it's written to apply to Palestinians, though Palestinians aren't specifically named in the law. But could you talk about the fact that Palestinians, unlike Israelis, are already tried in military courts and what that means effectively in terms of their access to justice?
Yes. So, of course, Palestinians who live in the occupied West Bank under Israeli control are tried by Israeli military courts where Israel and Israeli soldiers are basically the prosecutors, the judges, and where Israel sets the law. And Israel decides what is right and wrong, what are offenses, and what is legitimate. Palestinians do not take part in any sort of decisions that apply to these military courts. So essentially, it's basically like a military dictatorship that is ruling over Palestinians. And now, with the the change in Israel's law, so the new amendment adopted by our parliament, this will mean that if Palestinians are convicted of murder under Israel's terror laws, then there will be a default death penalty attached to them. There is also a possibility under very extenuating and rare circumstances that they will only, quote unquote, face a life sentence, but the default will be a death penalty. This will also be in a very difficult situation for any sort of way to challenge it, because there is no real option for appeal. The execution, which has already been decided, will happen by hanging, will happen in most circumstances within 90 days. So this, of course, does not leave a lot of room for correcting errors or for any sort of attempts to try and get people off of death row. But then there is another system. So this is when, Israeli occupation that applies in the West Bank will then basically condemn Palestinians to death for offenses that Israel decided are against Israeli security, terror offenses. But
Sarit, if I could just, before we conclude, we have 30 seconds, Sarit. How are human rights groups going to challenge this legislation?
So I would just want to add one important thing, which is that this law actually enshrines, it makes formal a situation where Israelis and Israel are killing Palestinians with impunity in huge numbers. I mean, for the past 2 years in our genocide of Gaza, in our vast numbers of Palestinians who were also killed in the West Bank. These things have happened with impunity, and the new law that will impose a death penalty is simply making this formalized. However, I think there is also the issue of what this means in terms of Israel's culture, Israeli society's dehumanization of Palestinians. I think this is an example, or this is proof of how low our society has sunk.
Sarit Mikaeli, we have to leave it there. I thank you so much for being with us, International Outreach Director at the Israeli human rights group B'Tselem, speaking to us from Tel Aviv. That does it for our show.
Okay, I wanted to share with you this, and let's go to one last video I want to share with you. A different side of the war. I'd like to show you some things that you may not be seeing on our media, but let's go here.
Then let's bomb their civilian population and kill everyone there. The collective might of the US and the illegal settler colony. And this explains why these two rogue entities have been bombing hospitals, schools, and bridges in Iran in their sheer frustration. If you can't defeat Iran militarily, then let's bomb their civilian population and kill everyone there. This seems to be the new mantra of the cowards from the US and the settler colony. So much for the two best armies in the world. So thug Pete Hegseth has sacked his army chief right in the middle of a war, and Iran has destroyed one more F-15 fighter jet and even released a video of his shooting. But Iran is losing the war, says Israeli lapdog Donald Trump. This would be the broad focus of my video today. Also in my video, how Iranians expats are now returning home to...
So now they're saying that there's video of this plane being shot down while your media saying nothing about the plane having video of it being shot down. Very short stories. So let's see where this goes. I have not seen this video. So let's see if there's video of this F-15 fighter jet being shot down.
Stand with the country. So please stay tuned. So the Donald Trump's administration has sacked its army chief. Yes, you heard it right. U.S. Army Chief of Staff Randy George was fired on Thursday by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Now you tell me, under what circumstances would a country fire its army chief right in the middle of a raging war? Unless, of course, you are either being hammered by your enemy or the general in question has has refused to follow your illegal orders or both. No sane general would agree to make his soldiers cannon fodder to satisfy the genocidal urge of his rogue leader. That's precisely.
Or you refuse to follow illegal orders. That's interesting. That is interesting. Weren't they told do not follow illegal orders? That is a point. Point taken.
Precisely what appears to have happened in this case. I'm sure the general himself would like to tell his story at some point, but either way, this is a public confession of a humiliating defeat by the US military. Latest reports say that Hegseth has also fired 2 more generals, namely General David Hodnett and Major General William Green Jr. And if this wasn't enough, the Iranian military released this video claiming to have shot down another American fighter jet. As it emerged, the fighter jet in question was an American F-15. This is the second major blow to the US Air Force after the Iranian destroyed an F-35 fighter jet. On this occasion, however, the pilot too is reported to have been killed. But Trump and his minions would tell you that they have decimated the Iranian military and their missile power. These facts from the ground aside, even the American media is now broadcasting the truth on the Iranian military. This is CNN reporting how half of Iranians' missile launchers are still intact despite indiscriminate bombings by the US and Israeli terrorists for over a month now.
We have some breaking news for you tonight with a CNN exclusive report, as sources are telling us here tonight that recent US intelligence assessments found roughly half of Iran's missile launchers are still intact, and that thousands of one-way attack drones are still in Iran's arsenal tonight. That's despite daily U.S. and Israeli airstrikes that we've seen against Iranian military targets.
So it's gotten to the point where CNN must start reporting real news. Must stop repeating many different ways to dissect and wonder what they mean and they could have meant in the both sides-ism of why you should or should not support what is being said, and you don't understand what he meant by that is this, that, and the other. Now we get to the real other side of the story, the part of the story that this administration has been lying to you about. We are finally here. But this is why it's not good to have a monopoly on the media, because you do recall Pete Cagbreath came out and because a reporter from CNN asked him a tough question, he said that he told the reporter, I will be so glad when Larry Ellison takes over CNN. Why would Hegseth be so glad when Ellison takes over CNN? Because CNN will be prohibited from asking tough questions. That's why. CNN will be prohibited from reporting this type of news. Get it while the getting is good, CNN. Glad you have finally joined the party, CNN.
Targets for the past 5 weeks. And I should note, this assessment that my colleague arsenal tonight. U.S. intelligence assessments found roughly half of Iran's missile launchers are still intact, and that thousands of one-way attack drones are still in Iran's arsenal tonight. That's despite daily U.S. and Israeli airstrikes that we've seen against Iranian military targets for the past 5 weeks. And I should note, this assessment that my colleagues are reporting on tonight might include launchers that are currently inaccessible, such as those that are buried by strikes or not just completely destroyed. The intelligence, though, does offer a more nuanced picture that we're getting of Iran's capabilities that they still have right now than what we have heard from the White House since the beginning of this war.
There's also disquiet amongst the US military generals over the Trump administration's desperation to hide its fatalities. Iran has repeatedly claimed to inflict heavy losses on the US military.
I reported on that yesterday. Who goes into a war with 6 casualties the first day of the war and tell you that they are going to be many more casualties? Many more casualties. On the first day of a war, they tell you that there are going to be many more casualties as they report 6 casualties. Who does that? Who does that instead of we pray that we have fewer that there are fewer casualties and no, they told you that there will be many more casualties. The first thing I thought when they said that they must already have these casualties, that they're trying to piecemeal them to you, piecemeal the announcement of these casualties to you. That's what I thought. Nobody comes to you the first time that they are announcing casualties and say that there are expected to be many more casualties. It seems like your military will be trying to prevent these casualties. So who would be speaking on anticipating many more casualties? That sounds like a military that understand that we're gonna feed our troops through the meat grinder. That's what it sounded like to me. I'm just saying, I'm keeping it real.
Personnel in the ongoing war. But the US always denied these claims and only acknowledged the deaths of 13 personnel. But a New York based media outlet, Intercept, has accused the US administration of a cover up, saying that hundreds of US personnel have been killed or injured in the region since Trump and his war criminal Israeli boss launched their illegal military aggression on 28th of February. And try and see the recent sackings of top army generals by Hegseth in this context now. Which upright general would remain silent in such a situation? Watch this broadcast by Fox on how Trump is busy purging the Pentagon.
And we're back. So we have 2 ousters today, this time from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. He has asked Army Chief of Staff General Randy George to leave his post. George is the Army's most senior general. A defense official says Hegseth asked General George to retire immediately. Now, the ouster comes as the U.S., of course, is battling Iran. Joining me now is Hal Kempfert, a familiar face around here, and on Live Now, a national security analyst, also a retired U.S. Marine. Thank you, and thank you for your service. Let's just get your reaction to this. Is this really a big deal?
Well, Marla, it's a deal. I mean, normally when you...
Oh my God. I apologize. I apologize for that. Let's get back to that. I apologize. I hit the wrong button. Let me get you back to that. The link is in my description box. Let me get us back to that video. To that point, I apologize. Let me share my screen.
A lot of changes, with Pete Hegseth as Secretary of War or Secretary of Defense.
Analyst, also a retired U.S. Marine. Thank you, and thank you for your service. Let's just get your reaction to this. Is this really a big deal?
Well, Marla, it's a deal. I mean, normally when you become a service chief or chairman of the Joint Chiefs or the vice chair, normally those are 4-year terms. That is not set in stone. That can change, and certainly we've seen a lot of changes. With Pete Hegseth as Secretary of War or Secretary of Defense, he's removed about a dozen flag and general officers. Of course, you may recall
He removed C.Q. Brown, Air Force General, who was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs when he came in. He also, Lisa Franchetti, who was the CNO Admiral, head of the Navy, Chief of Naval Operations. And then, of course, General Cruz, Lieutenant General Cruz, head of DIA, and others have been removed as well. So they're not afraid of removing flag and general officers, but this is still a big deal.
Even former military personnel are now openly calling out the criminality of Trump.
But the question is, who is he replacing them with? His little fans and loyalists and unexperienced people in the military? Is he replacing them with experienced military officers? That is the question.
Listen to this former U.S. Army colonel on Sky News Australia and pay attention to her choice of words for Trump and the U.S. administration.
Let's get back to our top story now, and these are the continuing developments, the troubling developments out of Iran, which is, as we know, showing no sign of slowing down. Joining us live now, the former US Army Colonel, State Department official Anne Wright. She's there with us. Anne, thanks for your time this morning. So the war's ending. Now it's going back to the Stone Ages. Where do you think we are at this hour?
Well, I think it's a pretty stupid thing that Trump and this administration has done to blow up a country like Iran. They say thousands. I think it's 7,000 missile attacks on Iran. Supposedly, the danger from Iran was coming from its potential nuclear weapons. Of course, the Iranians have said they would never, ever have a nuclear weapon, and they haven't so far. Trump, in his first administration, threw out the JCPOA, and then now following the lead of Israel, where the U.S. now is the lapdog of Israel, the United States have mounted a horrific set of attacks, 30 days of attacks on Iran. And sadly, I think the U.S. will pay for this.
And Israel is nowhere around. Israel is over there trying to steal land from Lebanon.
Many ways.
Iran was certainly heading towards nuclear, though. Isn't the world safer and better off with that taken out of the picture?
Well, it always has had this nuclear program, and it was under inspection and observation through the JCPOA that Trump threw away. And nuclear inspectors had been back into it. There was no evidence that there was a movement toward nuclear weapons, but of course you always have to wonder that. And one would say, if you don't want to be attacked by the United States, you ought to have nuclear weapons, which is a sad state of affairs for that to be the world diplomacy, and for the peace president of the United States now to have severely damaged the civilian infrastructure of Iran, a country, Trump said we're bombing it back to the Stone Age. Well, in the Stone Age, there was a vibrant society in Iran where there was no society to speak of other than the Stone Age and many other parts of the world.
Interestingly, Iran has intensified its attacks on the
Iran has a longer civilization than most of the world. She's bombing it back to the Stone Age. A numbskull.
در صورت عملی شدن تهدیدات آمریکا در خصوص نیروگاه‌های ایران بلافاصله اقدامات تنبیهی
Let's be clear. Let's be real clear that Iran said that they are going to start striking corporations. Palantir, they just struck Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud. Amazon Cloud that houses many different, it's a cloud source for many different corporations, many banks. They are you hear that they still have their weapons capabilities. Also, they are, while our administration is talking about. They blew up a bridge, a pedestrian bridge also. So they are striking civil infrastructure. We never strike any civilian infrastructure, said Hegseth. Hegseth, how is that investigation into the shooting of the bombing of that school where over 160 school children lost their lives, that you guys tried to say Iran bombed up their own school? Weren't you investigating that, Hegseth? Any updates, Hegseth? Okay, let's continue.
Last night, the IRGC in Iran, Hezbollah in Lebanon,
Let's
and the
review
Houthis
that
in Yemen
one more
coordinated
time.
their
Let's review that one more time.
precise location of such a hugely important target.
Well, in the Stone Age, there was a
colony. Iran has claimed to destroy an Oracle data center in Dubai and an Amazon cloud computing center in Bahrain. The Dubai government has
they have destroyed a Oracle company in Dubai. You know, the Oracle, David Ellison, I just showed you, who wants to monitor everything that everyone does. So now we understand that they are hiding their biggest source of AI in these Middle Eastern countries. Now we understand that they are just harvesting, farming the information in the United States, where they are buying up all the land in the United States, poisoning your water, making your electricity bill increase, only to store the information in the Middle East. Who knew? We do now. Now we do.
Deny the claims on the bombing of the Oracle data center.
Having the area around your houses with a constant humming sound, killing birds and wildlife in your town, with all of these big data centers that, while you are paying to cool them down, with all the water usage and all the increase in water, all the hikes in your electricity, you're paying for your own demise. But who knew? And then they take all the information that they are killing you with, making you pay for, and they take it over to oil-rich Middle East to release it on you. Who knew? It seems like Iran knew.
But has not.
Americans are too busy getting Amazon packages delivered to them. Americans are too busy participating in their own demise, as Amazon tells you that they are going to lay off over 600,000 workers to use AI. But Americans are so dumb that they are still talking about what they're getting from Amazon and what they got to order from Amazon. Who knew? Let's continue.
Not provided any evidence to support its claim. The IRGC's Khatamul Anbiya Brigade also released a video of the UAE's largest AI data center and its exact location, threatening to bomb it next. Now, this is next level military maneuvering on the precise location of such a hugely important target.
Should the U.S. proceed? Let me see. Let me tell you what. Should the U.S. proceed with its threats concerning Iran power plant facilities, the following retaliatory measures shall be promptly enacted. all power plants, energy infrastructure, and information and communication technology of the Zionist. Wait a minute. Of the Zionist something. I keep missing that. Of the Zionist regime and all similar companies that have America shareholders shall face complete and utter annihilation. Oh, okay. Nothing stays hidden to our sight. Stargate UAE, Abu Dhabi. Stargate UAE, landmark 1 gigawatt AI data center, designed to be the largest AI computing cluster outside the U.S. is in partnership with top-tier American enterprises. Let's see who we have here. Oh, I forget who that old man on the end is. Mark Rowan, CEO of Apollo. Jason Hong, CEO of NVIDIA. Sam Altman, creator of OpenAI. They putting a name on it. Y'all wanted attention. Y'all wanted to expand all of this AI shit. They're putting a name on it. Who else? Who are you? Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Who is this? David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs. You wanted to the royal picture? There you go. Okay. So there's that.
Yemen coordinated their missile attacks against the settler colony, and boy, the result was simply breathtaking. It was as if there was no resistance from the Israelis in the sky. One video captured the moment when a powerful ballistic missile struck Tel Aviv. Another video captured the moment when nearly a dozen interceptor Israeli missiles failed to stop one Iranian ballistic missile from hitting its target. Al Jazeera later broadcast the devastation caused by these missile attacks.
Iran continues to fire missiles towards Israel. A ballistic missile hit Petah Tikva in central Israel on Thursday evening, bypassing air defense systems. It landed between a residential neighborhood and the city's industrial zone, causing a large crater. The shockwave damaged nearby buildings. Neda Ibrahim is live for us in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Neda, give us an update on what's been happening in Israel overnight and into this morning.
Well, most of the pressure that has been coming into Israel was targeted and focused from the side of Hezbollah, firing rockets and drones into northern Israel mostly. As you mentioned there, this Iranian missile has caused damage in the areas of greater Tel Aviv, caused panic, a large crater, but also severe damage to properties and buildings.
I will leave you with two videos of Iranian resilience. In the first video, an Iranian couple returns home from England, where the family owned a restaurant. This family now says that they would rather die in their own country. Another video is about two Iranian girls explain why Israeli terrorists deliberately target places of historical significance. While the first video would make you emotional, the second video would definitely bring a smile on your face.
از کدوم کشور اومدین؟ انگلستان.
لعنت بهشون که این کشور ما رو اینجوری میکنه. خدا ازشون نگذره.
نمیترسین که جنگ شده الان دارید برمیگردید؟
اصلا چی بترسم؟ این همه آدم، منم یکیش، بچه هم
اگه الان نیاییم کی بیان؟ همسرتون هستن؟ بهتر نبود میموندین یه مدت تا حالا جنگ تمام بشه بعد
بمونم چیکار کنم؟ پیش خانواده‌ام بمیرم خیلی قشنگ‌تره تا قربت.
شغلتون چیه اونجا تو لندن؟
من نیو قاطنم، فضلی دارم تا ابد پاینده ایران.
میدونین درد کجاست؟ اینکه اونا برمکن تا
Okay. Let me drop this link in the chat. Is already in my description box. That is horrible. Hey, Vibrant Law. Thank you for joining me. Let me see what you guys were talking about. That is a link. This war is embarrassing. I concur. Dark Ever. If you are too stupid and too immature to disagree or to write a statement out without trying to shock me with your ignorance, don't write in my chat. Do not write ignorance in my chat. The bridge was not even completed. So do not write ignorance in my chat ever, or you will be blocked. Thank you, John. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. She believes the terrorist regime. And you believe a regime that has not proven anything that they have told you, have not offered you any proof of anything that they have told you. What proof of any of the things that 45, 47, and keg breath, what proof have they shown you of anything? What war do you know that has been fought all the way back to Vietnam that does not have any news correspondence in with their fighting soldiers? When have you ever seen a war fought in the United States all the way back to the 1960s that didn't have embedded real media in to bring you the story? So you don't have to take the word of what is going on in the actual war from some known liars like Pete Kegbreath and 45, 47. When has that ever happened in the United States? Since the 1960s. When has that ever happened? But you get mad when people show you different things that are happening on the ground that you're not aware of. Don't get mad at the truth. You're going to be mad enough pretty soon that your government is not telling you that you should be rationing. You're going to be mad enough when you go to the grocery store and your grocery shelves are empty, and you're so dumb. You're going to be like, oh, I didn't know. While other countries around the world are warning their people that they are going to be in a tough situation for an extended period of time. They are telling their people that it can be years before we recover from what is coming because of this idiocy that 45, 47, and this warmongering peak keg breath has put the world into. You are in for a world of pain. Now, you're so dumb that you don't even think about the fact that something as simple as fertilizer has been stopped. What do you think that is going to do? We know that America don't give a fuck about their farmers all the way back from the beginning of this administration. But what do you think that's going to do for the world food? What do you think? What shortage do you think that there is going to be on food? Because phosphates and fertilizer is not available. So you guys are sitting up here thinking that you're impressing somebody with the dumb shit that you write to me. And when you guys are the ones who continuously prove yourselves to be abject idiots, total fools. So which of you have any solar power generator? Is there anyone in here who has looked out for themselves and have a solar power generator? Oh, you don't think you're going to need one? Oh, you have a gas generator. Oh, you have a gas generator when the problem is going to be oil? Oh, okay. That sounds smart. You're going to stand in line with all of these cars that are going to be standing in line for hours for gas to generate to get gas for your generator. Some of you really need to watch the movie Leave the World Behind. But I know many of you won't watch it on the merit that Barack and Michelle Obama was one of the producers of the movie. But you really, really need to watch Leave the World Behind. It shows you how another country can destroy America without striking one bullet, one bomb in America, because the American people are so stupid. And if the American people had any sense, they will be demanding more from their government. They will be demanding that your senators get us out of this half-ass fucked up war that we're fighting, and we don't know any reason for us to be there. There is absolutely no reason for us to be there, and there are no gains for us being there. Let's be clear. As Israel suckered a fool into this war, Israel is over there using your money to fight in Lebanon, to steal land from Lebanon. Israel is not even helping to fight this war. While your American troops are going to have boots on the ground, allegedly, Israel already said that they not putting no boots on the ground for a war that they told your president to join them in. But nobody's rationing any food, any water, any personal protection. Nobody is aware that in certain times that you can only buy one box of personal protections to go into your personal protection piece. You can only buy one boxes. They can ration how many things that you can buy to put inside of your personal protection. And I would be remiss if I didn't remind you. Let me see if I can pull this up. I would be remiss if I didn't remind you about what 4547 said to Zelensky. Let me see. Okay. I would be
Upon
remiss.
peace, God willing, we get peace.
I would be remiss if I didn't leave this with you over this Easter weekend. Let me remind you what your president said when Zelensky visited, when they asked him about voting during the war.
Are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, in the sky, and the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of news, I got a question. Upon peace, God willing, we get peace. Are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, in the sky, and the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
Yeah.
So we understand how hard that 4547 is trying to get that voter suppression bill passed, but it is obvious that it will not even pass if all the Democrats don't vote for it. They're still they will still be unable to pass that voter suppression bill. So let's be clear that this president is keeping all options on the table to stay in power. So that's all I have to say, and I hope you guys have all who celebrate Easter. I hope you have a fabulous Easter weekend, and do not forget what I told you in the beginning of my video. Let's not forget about who exactly we are dealing with. Who exactly are we are dealing with this Easter weekend? Just 1 second. Let me end with this. I would be remiss if I didn't leave you with this little Easter celebration that was held at the White House. I will let you view it for yourself. Make your own decisions about the person that some of you decided to plant in the White House. Okay, let me share this with you. The important things. Remember the important things over this Passover, shall you? I hope you do. I hope you are able to remember the important things.
The United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. The United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state.
Oh, hold on. That isn't the. That was way too short. I need to show you the long version. That was much too short. Maybe. Yeah, I need to show you this version.
We have a balanced budget because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually said to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money for daycare because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up, but it's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection. We have to guard the country. But all these little things, all these little scams that have taken place, you have to let states take care of them, Russell, and you have to do it. We have a balanced budget because these are the kind of numbers. And I actually said to them, I said to Russell, don't send any money for daycare because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up, but it's not possible for us to take care of daycare. Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things, they can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection. We have to guard the country. But all these little things, all these little scams that have taken place, you have to let states take care of them, Russell, and you have to do it.
All of these little things, all of these little scams, daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, let's let the states take care of them. They can afford to do it. These poor Louisiana, Mississippi, Oklahoma, red states, all of you guys who voted for 45, 47, overwhelmingly poor people, y'all can do it because the federal dollar is for fighting wars. All of these scams, he called your health care as his, and all of your Congress people and senators, they get free health care off of your tax dollars. They're going to have to increase the taxes in these states. Well, maybe they'll have to increase the taxes, but you never hear him increasing taxes on billionaires. But I do hope that Easter message, that was a Easter message from your president that you guys decided to vote back in office. That was his Easter presentation to the American people. And do not forget, I may even come live when this fool goes live tonight. Your president will be doing another address about an update on the Iran war. Is scheduled tonight at 9 p.m. If you see my live up, come on over and we will talk about it. And okay, have a good day and have a good Easter weekend. And if you see me setting up if you see a live schedule tonight, come on over. The water is fine. Please hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate all of the support that you guys have shown me. Leave a comment in the comment section. Do not be disrespectful disrespectful in my comment section, do not curse in my comment section. If you would like the video on your way out, subscribe, share, and tell a friend. I will be back on Monday, and I hope you guys have a fabulous Easter weekend if I am not back tonight. All right, guys, that's it for me, and we're out of here.